If you're looking to dive into the tasty world of cheese and wine pairing, this video is not for you. This is a Magik guide for Marvel Rivals. Easy Rivalers, and welcome back to my channel and another episode of MVP Every Match. Advanced hero or villain guides that will help you carry in your ranked games for a Grandmaster player to you. Magik is one of those characters you will often see dominate a lobby, but when you try to play her yourself, it becomes more tragic than Magik. Magik is an amazing brawler with great survivability, damage, and some awesome combos that can one-shot a lot of people. Pulling off a good game as Magik feels ridiculously good, but you might be playing her wrong. Hopefully, we can change that in this guide with some actual useful tips so you can carry every game. Stick around to the end of the video to see some Magik gameplay in a GM lobby where I get 38 kills and 8 deaths as a well-deserved MVP. Right, to kick this video off, let's talk about Magik's bread and butter combos. This is going to be some of the most important things to learn when playing her. Before that though, you might want to remap your melee button on Magik to a button that's easy to press as you'll be using it a lot. Yes, her melee is a different attack to her left click. I've popped it on one of my mouse buttons, but put it wherever you like. Your first combo is as follows: auto attack, melee, slash, auto attack, melee. This will kill any 250 health character in the game. It's a great general rule of thumb to weave in a melee attack after every auto attack. Practice this combo in the practice range until you get it down as muscle memory. Is it melee or melee? Let's move on to combo 2. Your next bread and butter combo on Magik is great for closing a gap and also kills any 250 health characters just like before. What you want to do for this combo is as follows: charged up slash, dash in attack, auto attack, and then throw in a melee for good measure. A little tip for your dash ability is to aim slightly to the right of the enemy. Aiming to the left will often mean a missed dash attack because of the way this game has been designed in third person. It's so annoying. Honestly, one of the main things that sets apart a good Magik from a bad one is landing those dash attacks of your E ability. I still miss quite a few myself, so don't be too hard on yourself. It will come with time. Magik's next combo I want to talk about is actually my favorite one I like to use, as it's great for closing a gap and feels really fun to pull off. The combo is as follows. So you're going to start off by using Magik's shift ability, stepping discs, into your whirl, which you're going to animation cancel with your dash attack. And then once you lift them up in the air, it's your auto attack and melee. At this point in the combo, you can also add a slash auto attack melee, just like we learned in combo 1. The slash will kill any 275 health enemies, and the extra hits are great against tanks. Try and do this combo, but save one of your shifts to escape, as this uses Magik's resources and is a very committal combo. Consider this your all-in combo. For this next tip, I want to talk about Magik's shift ability, stepping discs. This ability is part of what gives Magik great survivability, as it gives you invincibility frames, or iframes. When you're in the animation, you can't take any damage, so it's great against ults. You can use it to your advantage to survive a lot of burst damage in this game. So if you've got the read on an enemy that you think is about to ult you, save your shift to dodge it. I see a lot of Magik players throw this ability out without considering using it as a defense tool. It's great in a fight, but also such an amazing defensive tool. For this tip, I want to talk about how to choose your attack out of Magik's shift ability, stepping discs, and a reminder that your imp demon is cracked. The simplest way to choose depends on the type of fight you're in. I like to use Eldritch Whirl, her left click against multiple enemies surrounding you, and her Demon's Rage, her right click, when I'm against a single target or if the enemies are grouped up in front of you, like in a hallway. Remember, 30% of all damage you deal is converted to bonus health, so choosing these options correctly is important. The amount of Magik players I see neglect her little imp demon is criminal. He's a proper little miscreant when used correctly. A little bonus tip as well, your demon can sometimes save your life too if you're trying to escape, as it will body block damage. It can sometimes be the difference between dying or staying alive. For this next tip, I want to talk about Magik's E ability, her dash. Right, I've already mentioned that aiming slightly to the right of an enemy can help you land more of your dash attacks. However, did you know that if you land one on a flying character, it actually begins to drag them down with you, meaning you can land a full combo on them. If you hit someone in the air with your E, follow up with an auto attack, melee slash melee, or even use combo 2 to close that gap, meaning all you need to do is an auto attack and melee to finish them off. Don't be afraid to go for that kill in the sky, as you can kill them before they get healed or before they even notice they're dying from a Magik jumping on them in the air. Magik can be a surprisingly good counter to flying characters. You've just got to hit that dash, which is probably the hardest part. This next tip is all about Magik's role in the game. I like to think of Magik as having 3 main playstyles or jobs. You can either play as a brawler, as a dive or flanking main character, or as a peeler and bodyguard for your healers. It just depends who you're paired up with and who's on the enemy team and how fights are panning out. You might need to do all three in a match. Let's say you're playing with a Doctor Strange and Magneto, and no one else in your team is a dive character. If you keep flanking the backline by yourself, you're probably going to die without any healing as you're overextending. This is not your healer's fault, it's yours. Try and play a bit closer to your tank and benefit from being a brawler until the gap has closed a bit between your team and the enemy team, then it's your time to strike their backline. If you're playing with other dive duelists or vanguards, you can go full dive with them and jump the backline together, and your healers should follow. You can always flank as Magik, even without other dive characters on your team, but it's important to time it correctly, which I'll actually talk about in my next tip. As a peeler or bodyguard, if the enemy team has a dive character that's constantly on your healers, Magik is great at peeling for them and might result in an early pick for your team, meaning you can then engage in a fight in a 6v5 situation. So in short, brawl with your tanks, peel for your healers, and time your flanks correctly, which brings me on to my next tip. Let's chat about timing Magik's dive so you don't waste it. So like I mentioned, you might not always get away with flanking before a fight is even started. You might do, but it's most likely not going to happen. You should try and wait for it to be kicking off a bit before planning your attack. You want the duelists and the tanks on the enemy team to be distracted enough for you to jump their healers without them being able to peel for them. A great time to flank and dive the healers on the enemy team is when the gap has been closed between your tank and your team and the enemy team, and when a big fight is kicking off. This is when you can be sneaky and get those kills in the backline. Another thing that's really important to look out for on Magik is to make sure you're looking out for defensive abilities and ults before you go in. For example, if they have a Mantis on the enemy team, wait until she's used her sleep ability, or Luna with her freeze. Timing your flank when you know they don't have defensive cooldown will make your job so much easier and you'll secure more kills. There is nothing worse than diving a backline and getting CC'd to death. When you're brawling on Magik, keep an eye out for the backline and decide when it's the right time to go in. Let's talk about using Magik's ult, getting the most out of it, and the best combos to use. This is quite a few tips rolled into one, so pay attention. Firstly, you should wait to pop your ult once you see defensive ults have been used on the enemy team, or if you know that they don't have them to begin with. I see a lot of Magik players pop their ult out in the open and die during the startup animation. You should try and get into your ult form around the corner or behind cover before going in. Darkchild also refreshes all of your cooldowns, so you can burn all of your abilities before popping it. You might get a pick in the process. The best thing to do is spam your stepping discs and swing that massive sword around into the enemy if they're grouped up. This will deal massive damage and give you maximum shield. But remember, it doesn't turn you into a tank and you can still die. It's best to use your ult amongst a team fight rather than trying to 1v6 with it. Darkchild also has two combos that can one-shot squishies. This is combo 2 and combo 3 that we mentioned earlier in the video. The charged up slash combo can actually one-shot a Luna in her ult once her shield goes down. And if you can hit this, everyone on your team will think you're an absolute god. Okay, lastly, and maybe my most important tip for Magik, she's got mad sex appeal, so people are just going to be too distracted to even kill you, right? Magik is quite a complex character. She can melt tanks, brawl, dive the backline, and peel for healers all in one match. And I hope I've provided you with a useful guide. If you can put these tips into practice, I promise you'll see improvements with your Magik. It might be a good idea to focus on one tip at a time in each match, and you'll be a Magik demon in no time, from tragic to magic. I hope you've enjoyed the video up until now, and if you have learned at least one thing, please drop a like and subscribe to the channel for more. Leave a comment below for any extra Magik tips I might have missed. Here's that gameplay I mentioned earlier where I MVP in a GM lobby. And until next time, Rivalers, I hope you laying it down in your ranked games. Oh, that was so fit. No! Back up. I love hitting someone with a fully charged sword from just nowhere. Fucking hell.
This is real firepower.
Okay, Luna is ulting on point, and she's seen her.
No more ults, no more. Wolverine on. Right, we just like perma ignoring the Wolverine.
Kind of these old.
That's your immune.
They're gonna have Cloak and Dagger, right? Do they have Cloak and Dagger, do you reckon?
No, they don't.
Okay. Someone just popped their pussy and it was me. Oh my god, I went crazy there, mate.
Stay with the cloak ult. Stay with the cloak ult.
This is real firepower.
Magneto said. Magneto dies. Our Moon Knight just allergic to killing people with his arms.
It seems that way, doesn't it? Oh yeah, I'm going crazy now. The magic fingers have warmed up. I'm just get aggressive, guys. I'll use my magic ult. Try and keep me alive. Gaming! Nice well play, guys. My guy's only me. Oh!
Strange will probably Jeff in a sec.
Moon Knight play off it if they
No,
TP. Oh man. He's low. Nice.
Go in, nice.
Yeah, Wolverine behind you.
We're good, we're good.
It's just strange. He's kind of cooking us.
Kinda cooking.
And you've got
Don't let him touch.
go on Omen spawn.
Oh my god, I popped my fucking pussy. Oh, I'm glad I bought this MVP screen.
With
Bosh.
that skin.
Yeah, it's really nice with that skin.
Oh, 4 final blows.
Yay, back in gem. Good time to finish. All right, mate, GG's.